Well, I wanted to do another vlog in the comfort of my dressing gown with my kitchen as the background, being a little bit more authentic, but really because I came up with a really good idea and wanted to record it as I was on a roll. See, there's me being transparent and authentic with you, but this one is about not putting people into boxes and categories, which we as human beings love to do. This is how we make sense of people. You know, people tell us some labels about who they are, how they identify their gender, their sexuality, what they do in their life, and we tend to kind of pigeonhole them like this because we can make sense of them. I got asked a question very recently about how I'm able to not be judgmental of people when it comes to them talking to me about their sex lives and asking me questions. A lot to do with that, first of all, had to do with where I studied, my qualification and the training that I got, which was not about saying, this is what you do sexually, this is what you don't do, this is where you have a sexual dysfunction, let's look at the labels and define you really closely. It was more about, you tell me what you're experiencing in your sex life and let's explore if there's any issues within that for you, any safety issues, any consent and boundaries, any discomfort that you have. It's not about trying to always make sense of what someone is doing and saying. It's about working with them to decide, is this internally what they're comfortable with? Are there any safety elements to that? Are there any logistical elements that they can't overcome? Do they have some questions about it and discomfort? So after years and years of practicing like this, you get a really good handle of being non-judgmental when it comes to people's sex lives and relationships. One of the examples that I gave when this person was asking me this question is around swingers. I never understood why there was so much controversy around people who declare themselves to be swingers or in an open relationship or monogamish. I love that term, monogamish. It's like you can't be monogamous, but every so often something little happens. Obviously consensual. But I always found it so interesting that when it came to the open relationship community, there was so much judgment on them. There were people that would not put their face to anything. Years and years ago, I was asked to write this article and for a news publication, and they really wanted to feature a couple to be able to go, okay, this is how open relationships work, this is how effective they can be, but here's so-and-so and so-and-so that live here with 2 children and they have this very normal, happy life that, hey, on their weekends, they swap partners and things like that. I had at the time, a lot of connections within that community and no one would put their face to it, and I understand why, because people around them will judge them so much. And I went back to that point when we were talking about not being judgmental of people's relationships and sex lives. And I remember that and how sad it made me feel. Frankly, it's no one else's business what you do in the bedroom. It's no one else's business what you do in your private life, especially your sex life. But yet we judge people so much on what they get up to, whether it's something that's outside of the box, like being into a fetish, being part of the BDSM community, the kink community, being in an open relationship, how you identify your gender. You know, people are so quick to have a judgment on that. And I think we really need to explore this idea of why. Why does it matter? To me especially, what matters when I'm interacting with someone is how they treat me. Are they respectful? Are they nice? Are they someone that I can talk to without them judging me and me judging them? And if they tick those very simple boxes, then I'm happy to give them my time. I don't care what they get up to. I don't care what they do in their personal life. As long as they're not harming anyone else, I'm happy to give them some time and some energy and be appreciative of their time and energy in return. But yet I'm faced so often with comments from people around me, comments from people online that are just so quick to judge someone based on who they're betting and how they're betting. And I think that we really need to let go of those judgments. We can even look at the idea of slut shaming. Why is it that a woman can have so much sex, let's just go this much sex, but then when she gets to here, any more sex that she's having, she's demonized for it? First of all, why is it anyone else's business? I don't care how much sex a woman is having, as long as it's consensual and hopefully safe. But no one always gets it perfectly right. And by safe, I'm talking about practicing safer sex. But as long as it's consensual and that's something that she's chosen, then it's none of my business. Obviously, as a sexologist, I say that because when I say it's my business, I'd like to probably get in there and be like, hey, we need to have a conversation about consent and what you're doing and if you're comfortable with it. But why is it anyone else's business how much sex that you're having, who you're having sex with, what type of sex that you're having, what type of relationship that you're in? And I think that this is something that we really need to focus hard on questioning ourselves, why we care, questioning ourselves why we put people in these boxes. If you have friends or you have someone that you know of that has a different relationship or sex life to yours and you've put them in that box, take them out of the box. Question yourself as to what kind of attributes you have attached to them because you've put them into a set category for how they love and who they have sex with. Every time you hear somebody that might be a little different to you or a little out of the norm, and I say a little out of the norm because there is no such thing as normal, challenge yourself as to the different perceptions you might have of them or why you feel the need to place them into a strict category or box. So that's just kind of my little spiel for the day of, if possible, be like a sexologist and don't be judgmental of people's sex lives and relationships. But definitely try and challenge yourself and question these ideas when they come into your head, because I really think it's important as a society that if we are going to grow together and we are going to move forward into this crazy stressful world that we now live in, it's really important to support each other with the choices that we make. And part of sometimes supporting each other is not actually caring or judging what someone does in their personal life. So I hope you enjoyed that vlog, and if you want to see more like this, make sure you head over to my YouTube channel, click subscribe. Also, if you want to send me a message, if you've got some content that you want to see me do a vlog about, or you've got some questions you want me to answer, send me a message. DMs on Instagram, probably the best, and I promise next time I will be out of my dressing gown, but it's really comfy. Bye.